Talking about electronic or talking about, I should say, paper shredding and making sure that, especially as a business or any type of confidential information you have, that's on paper. Talking with Steve Sturgeon earlier from Confidential Data Destruction about paper, but let's talk about electronic media, how we kind of toss things aside. I mean, I've got a couple things that are plugged in around here, and I don't always think about if I needed to get rid of those, what would I do with them? And you don't just toss them in the trash, even if you erase everything, because that can be actually regained, right, Steve Sturgeon?
That's absolutely true.
And so when we talk about this, and you know, I mentioned off the air too, SD cards and things like that using for photographs, and I have accidentally deleted photos and thought, oops, how am I going to get that back? And there is software that can recover those not on SD, only on SD cards, but almost any type of drive. So if I pick up a drive somewhere and decide, hey, you know, I wonder what's on this, it's easy for me to figure it out. And if you got something especially that you don't want on there that compromises your security or compromises maybe some sort of personal information, that's something to really consider.
It's really not realized, but very much. But almost every piece of technology you have now has some sort of memory facility inside it. So whether it's a SD card or a hard drive or a storage device of another kind, whether it's a computer, whether it's your Nook, and the like, where you've stored or placed account numbers and passwords and the like, all that information goes with it, and it can be recovered. So we offer electronic destruction as well as our paper shredding, and we do that on a regular basis to destroy the material itself.
Right, and that's really important because in a lot of cases we don't really think about what's on there, or we think, okay, it's on an electronic device, but if I have it unplugged and I tossed it in the trash, or I might have smashed it with a hammer or something, if you didn't smash it good enough, then it could still be recovered. And also I want to talk about camcorders nowadays with those hard drives that are on there. Let's say if you videotaped something that was kind of fun and a joke, but you deleted it, you got to make sure that that's completely gone, because that could be a problem too down the road.
Camcorders, copy machines, fax machines, you know, a lot of technology has.
And we don't think about copy machines and fax machines, do we? And you know, we fax a lot of confidential stuff back and forth as well. So I want to talk about this. What is the first step if I've got electronic hardware and electronic media that I want to get rid of?
We have a regularly scheduled route where we use our shredding trucks, our mobile trucks, to actually come to your site if you're both home or business, where we'll actually shred the material in front of you. We also offer drop-off or collection, where we'll bring it in, and then we'll process it we'll store it securely and then process it with the mobile truck route when that occurs, and it's usually about once a month.
Can we talk about this, though, especially, I mean, it's one thing to have things on paper and have it shredded, but we don't always think about the stuff we send back and forth on our electronic media that could totally compromise our identities. And as we talked off the air, too, Steve, identity theft is one of the biggest problems, not just here in Santa Clarita, but nationwide and worldwide.
Oh, it's the fastest growing crime across the world in the nation. It's like once every 3 minutes, you know, somebody's identity is stolen.
Exactly, and a lot of times it's just by not thinking ahead and being proactive with the information you have.
Exactly. So
that's really important. So Confidential Data Destruction, shredderonsite.com is the phone number. And talking to an interesting statistic, something like 17% that you can save money-wise by using a shredding company as opposed to doing it yourself. Is that right?
Well, between labor costs and time and energy, okay, it takes somewhere between an hour and a half for a person to shred through an office shredder, where we'll take a box of paper, which may have a couple thousand pages in it, and shred that in about a minute. And
think also try to destroy a hard drive in a way that's not going to be recoverable. I did it once with a hammer, and it was it took me forever to try and actually get it to where it was. So that's not to mention there's the danger there of things flying off and causing other problems. So definitely use confidential data destruction to, I mean, anything, SD cards, don't forget memory sticks and things like that
CDs,
too, right?
DVDs, old VHS tapes, zip drives, all the technology that has occurred over the course of time.
If you have those old 3 1/4 floppy disks, bring them down. Steve, thanks so much for stopping by. And shredderonsite.com, you have an office here in Santa Clarita where the address is on the website. They can find it, and so bring down or give you a call first. What's the phone number?
661-257-9970.
Protect your paper, protect your electronic media, and make sure it's destroyed properly. Thank you so much for stopping by once again, Steve.
Thanks,
Always a pleasure to have you here.